Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Wednesday, I believe the 1st. So it is, let me double check that. Yes, welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Wednesday, March 1st, 2023. It's 10:30 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. The crypto market is gaining some green velocity this morning. Yesterday wasn't too bad. Had a retrace kind of in the later in the day and overnight, but we're seeing some gains once again. So market's looking interesting. Let's rock through real quick and see what we can discern from all this stuff. We'll do it fast. All right. So with that said, BitcoinLayView.com. Got more for you there. Don't forget, get yourself a gas mask. You won't regret it. Buy me a coffee. Check out the things here, affiliate links, things I use and endorse, the indicators I use here in the video, all that stuff. It's here. Check it out. As always, got more for you there at BitcoinDailyView.com. All right, looking at FinViz. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. It's kind of a W pattern to the day across the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500. Quite literally, they all look like a little W. Right now, they're all kind of indecisive. The Dow is up like 0.17. The NASDAQ is slightly down, so the S&P 500. Looking at the S&P 500, since that's kind of very correlated to Bitcoin price action, but not quite so much recently. In general, got some green, got some red in the market. Communication services doing okay. Consumer cyclical, definitely not. Ford, the big F, doing quite well today, up 3%. That's a lot for little old Ford. Anyway, energy sector doing quite well. In general, S&P 500 trying to make a gain. We'll see if it ends up closing in the green or the red today. All right, looking at the big stuff here, dollar strength index right here in the middle. A big dump. It bounced off. It got rejected by a previous high. Definite dump. It broke out below its upwards channel that it recently created. So anyway, DXY today taking a massive hit. Which should give the market a little bit of room to move. We'll see if it can. Looking at oil here, as you can see, keeps making higher highs on the daily. Oil probably going to continue moving up. We'll see how it goes. I know I probably sound weird. Most people would want the price to go down, and I do, but that doesn't really make sense. So as it goes up, I will feel there's probably more sanity in the world. S&P 500, as you can see, it wicked down to the 200 moving average on the daily today. Be very nice if it can stay above the 200 moving average on the daily chart. And with the DXY dumping, it very well may. Looking at Bitcoin, green day in the market, making a strong move up above that 314 moving average. I do like that. Gold back in the green, second day in the green. I like what I'm seeing. Beautiful 314 moving average bounce on the daily. Silver finally wicking back above that 200 moving average on the daily chart. So silver looks like maybe it found and bounce too. Might need a day or two to really confirm that. But gold and silver back on the way up. And it's rather a sad reality. I don't know why, but it just makes me realize, like, how come for like the market to do well and like the world to be happy, the DXY has to be crashing? There's just something weird about it. I mean, can't we all win together? Well, we all know the answer. Never mind. I was being naive there for a second. Anyway, looking at the S&P 500, kind of wanted to bring this up because we were all very excited when the S&P 500 broke the 200 moving average on the daily, when it looked like it was going to break the 314 maybe. It was kind of beating on it, but it got rejected. Now it's been wicking down to the 200 recently. If we do look here, the ultimately looking at the daily chart, the squeeze indicator is rolling over. Looking at the directional index here, I mean, if you look at it basically like this, it's trending down. The ADX is trending down. I mean, really, this thing's probably going to drop below the 200 moving average. If it does, if we don't get a bounce here on the 200 on the daily and start moving back up and try that 314 again, maybe get above it, we'll see what happens. We can play anything. We can make it work. But it would be nice to think that possibly we actually here for the S&P 500, it'd be kind of cool if this was an upwards channel, and we were just getting ready to basically bounce off the bottom of it on the 200. Very possible. Definitely the squeezing indicator could turn up, certainly could. Directional index certainly could turn up. I mean, we definitely have given a bit back, so it would be a logical spot to possibly bounce. It would sort of match previous bounces. I mean, if we look at, I always kind of like doing this, grab myself a little trend line here and go like bonk, like that. And then maybe do like one more, oh, maybe like here was a run. Anyway, this doesn't really match up too well doing this. But anyway, sometimes you can kind of predict, like, will it do what it's done before? You can kind of get an average of recent moves. And definitely, if it could move as much as it has, moved recently on an upward swing, could get us above the 314 moving average on the daily, up to the top end of that channel, or moving towards it. It's possible, but really, if I want to be, drastically, cautious here, really, we're at the bottom of a channel. Don't have many days to play around here. It's either going, which is kind of nice, it's either going to, start making a bounce off this 200 moving average and bottom of this channel, and I guess I technically probably should do the channel like more like this, I guess you could say. If I actually do like that, we've already kind of lost it to some extent. And that's probably more accurate of a channel. So we're kind of losing that channel. It's going to be a 200 moving average bounce, or it ain't. We'll see what happens. But right now, the indicators are lending towards the weak side. We'll see what happens. Really, anything can happen. But does the S&P 500 have an upwards move in it, or what? We shall see. I mean, we thought for a while there, I guess, that it had kind of broken this downtrend. We thought, okay, cool, it broke. Okay, now it's back in, bounce off the mid-range. That's kind of natural of this downwards channel. Now it's moving up. We're going to see what happens, like I say. But I'm just watching, and I think it really has a value to, watch what's going on here. I do have an alert set, perpetually for 200 moving average crosses here on a daily for S&P 500. Because really, I think if we lose that, that definitely will lend towards a downwards market. A lot more bearishness in the larger market in general, and definitely crypto is still tradable, but you might find yourself having to do a little bit more shorting than longing, quite possibly. Just be ready. This is a big deal. All right, with that said, let's keep on rocking. So here's the thing with Bitcoin right now riding sideways, and we will take a look at that. Bitcoin kind of we are getting some action here. We are getting some upwards movement here. We did break above the 45-minute here. We broke above the 200 moving average, bounce off the 314. We're still pushing up. Good indicators, volume coming in. Got to get above that 314, in my opinion, to really have kind of a healthy Bitcoin, which of course then would lend to easier trading. But we are basically getting things. The alt market is moving up regardless. So anyway, but with Bitcoin sort of so indecisive right now. Kind of sideways, nice little uptrend here. The thing is, if you look at this, you can see this choppiness in the market, like this wrecked shorts, this wrecked longs, this wrecked a lot of shorts, this wrecked longs. Like here you go. Here's a bunch of shorts got wrecked. You can just kind of see the purple are shorts, and the kind of greenish yellow, that's longs. And you can see these volume spikes that come in here on the 15-minute channel. And I'd almost guarantee, I mean, we're going to see a BART pattern complete here, boom, and then wreck a bunch of longs. So anyway, with the market sideways, with this kind of choppiness that you're seeing there, like on the 15-minute chart, I'm watching liquidations like crazy. And the thing is, if we look here, this is an amazing chart, an amazing page. I'm going to add this to bitcoindailyview.com under the indicators. I'll put it in live chat right now. But I'm going to add this to the indicators there on bitcoindailyview.com because I think this is pretty powerful. 91 million in wrecks last 24 hours. People are trying too hard. I think the bias lends slightly more long than short. But basically, stop trying so hard. This market's really at a sideways, indecisive nature, especially when you're under that 45-minute 200 moving average. You just got a lot of volatility there. Oftentimes, volatility towards the downside. That's why we're seeing a lot of longs get wrecked. So really, 91 million in wrecks. Basically longs and shorts getting jacked. There's no point to that. It's retarded. I can't believe how hard people try to get a leveraged a trade in. I don't know, whatever, but the indecisiveness of Bitcoin right now, which is lending towards an indecisiveness of the alt market to some extent. Really, I think if I have a message for the day, don't try so hard. It can be very, very hard when you got to pay the rent, but let the trades come to you. If it's not a good day, if it's not a good trade that you find, you haven't found it. Because $91.94 million of impetuousness just got flushed down the toilet last 24 hours. Most of them, I'm going to tell you, I personally think we're trying too hard because it hasn't been a really good long or short situation in the last 24 hours. Either way, not certain enough for me, at least. anyway, looking at the top 20 exchanges here, they've all kind of turned towards the green as far as spot trading volume. I like seeing that. Derivatives, longs and shorts. On Binance, just under 50 billion, 46 billion, up 28% last 24 hours. Not bad. We're starting to see some longs versus shorts lining up to get wrecked. Looking at Bitcoin coming in at 23,716. Nice to see. We got some big players, makers in the green, Conflux. CFX is definitely in the green. CFX is in the green. Singularity is doing well once again. Definitely got a lot of the top 100 here moving towards the green. Got Filecoin in the green. Nice to see that. Stacks, STX has been a player for the last couple days. So anyway, definitely got some green here in the top 100, although Bitcoin's quite indecisive. But looking at longs versus shorts, bias right now for Bitcoin, 61% long, 38% short. And then, of course, for Ethereum, 56% long, 43% short. So not a lot of confidence in Ethereum pumping, but definitely a long bias for Bitcoin, 61% versus 38%. But looking at that previous chart and looking at which was that chart right here, that one. I already killed the this one. Sorry. That one, CoinGlass.com liquidation data. Like I said, I'm going to add that to BitcoinDailyView.com. But anyway, a lot of that long bias has been just getting wrecked. So be careful, because here's the thing, I find that when you're here in this kind of a zone, when you have a range like this, kind of above the 200 moving average, and you got the big money, still on the top, and then of course buying the bottom of this range, life is good, it's wonderful. And then here, this is kind of like, oh, we're kind of in a no-go zone. This is a little bit scary, not a good spot at all. And then the thing is, ultimately, once you really have lost this 200 moving average, which is kind of like all of this action right here, I mean, pretty much this whole zone here has been a bit of a hard play. Like I say, I know it's an immediate price action. It's the 45-minute chart, but really, like I say, below the 200 moving average, below the 314 on the 45-minute chart for Bitcoin is going to create more volatility in the alt market. In general, things tend to be easier to trade. I have way more confidence in longs, especially making money, than I do when we're a little bit healthier right here. So what I'm kind of hoping that we get here is and here we go. Looking at the indicators, squeeze indicator strong, directional index waning but good enough. I'm sorry, directional index looking good, ADX looking good. They're kind of leveling out a little bit, but got some volume coming in. So we'll see. Bitcoin right now, and this is kind of an interesting move with the SPX being kind of weak right now. But if Bitcoin can get above that 314 and just start cruising sideways above it at all, that's going to be much more positive, just much easier trading in my opinion. So I'm really watching for that. Definitely still alts making money, etc., etc. Things are good, but I'm hoping for this move here just because easier trading. I find the market has a lot more stability to it when we're in a situation like that. And of course, if we do look here, we kind of have not exactly higher lows, but we are trending up at least to some extent. So we'll see what happens. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour, one thing that we do notice here, which is nice to see, is that we have made a nice move away from the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. That's good to go. Candles by Sam fired up some purple candles. Nice upwards velocity. I like that. Look at that beautiful squeeze indicator lending towards positive. Directional index in the green again. ADX still trending down, but watch for that tangent to turn up. Not a whole lot of volume. I mean, ultimately kind of like, not that much, but enough. We're seeing some yellow columns here on the volume index volume. What was it? That's a thing called volume analysis. It's looking pretty good. So anyway, let's see what we can do. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, let's just see what happens. I mean, Bitcoin needs to get that 45-minute going. How's the hourly looking? Actually before the hourly, let's look at this. Let's get array. Where'd you go, array? Horizontal array. Wouldn't surprise me if we found some resistance here. Maybe some resistance maybe, yeah, it's gonna have to, kind of punch through those levels there, but it's already working on this first one. So we'll see how it goes. I like that the Madrid ribbons, or the guppy indicator, or Madrid ribbons, these green moving averages here, EMAs actually, technically, they all went red, but now with this green diamond, you can see now they're green again. So definitely getting some energons going. The 4-hour chart does look like we're going to see it continue to move up. Let's see what happens. I like to see it. Definitely, if that 45-minute chart can get above the 314, this will definitely start moving. That's my guess. Looking at an hourly chart, the hourly chart has broken the 200, struggling with that 314 still, but the indicators ultimately are moving up. It's looking good. Like I say, in that immediate price action of the 45-minute chart, definitely once we break this, I think 314, the green moving average there on the 45-minute chart, I think definitely we'll see the hourly pick up and the 4-hour continue to look good. Let's look at the daily chart here for Bitcoin. For Bitcoin daily chart, let me say it's really wonderful. We can get rid of those. They're not quite so relevant. It's nice to see that we have a 314. Okay. The 200 and 314 moving average, 200's white, 314 here is green. So this is really amazing that we are above the 314. Because if I was to, like I say, do a split screen here, and then down here I'm going to put SPX. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. This is a real decoupling. This is a really interesting moment, for me personally, that S&P 500 challenged that 200, got above it, bounced off, boundary distance on the 314, came back down. But Bitcoin, around the same time, roughly, always try to get these things to actually line up just right. But ultimately, Bitcoin kind of got above that 200, close to when the S&P 500 did. S&P 500 could not break above. Then basically the Bitcoin did break above. These are two different worlds. This is very, very powerful. So we'll see what happens. I think definitely if the S&P 500 can make that 200 bounce on the daily, it's going to be great for Bitcoin. We're definitely going to see probably a corresponding move. I would guess probably pretty powerful. The big question is, I think, at least I'm kind of wondering, is if by chance, S&P 500 dumps like this, then what is Bitcoin going to do, especially with this recent partial decoupling? We'll see. It's a darn interesting moment if you ask me. All right. So with that said, this is one I've been watching recently, Immutable X. I'm kind of watching this thing. I think we're going to see a 15-minute bounce before it gets to the 200 there, or right on it. It's given a lot back. Anyway, this is not really one that I would trade right now. It's kind of in a crappy spot. But stuff that looks good, I've noticed recently, is like CFX versus USDT. You can play it on Binance and KuCoin. How's that one looking? Yeah, it's a nice strong indicators. CFX versus USDT, broke to 200, getting ready to challenge that 314. Strong indicators on the 45-minute chart. Maybe one to watch. Ruin versus USDT. How's that one looking? You can do it on Binance or KuCoin. Ruin. Oh, broke above the 200, getting rejected by that 314 so far. Strong indicators. So we're looking at a lot of things that sort of a MKR was looking pretty good versus USDT. Like you can put it on Binance or KuCoin. Definitely broke the 200 a long time ago, looking good. Powerful indicators. Velocity is waning off. This one's really pushing hard. These are always hard to figure out how to play. You kind of got to just do a fib sequence and see if this thing bounces at some reasonable place. That's pretty extended. App was doing well. USDT. App looking good. Honestly, app would not surprise me if it actually comes back down to the 200 moving average, and probably going to range between 200 and 314, and eventually probably start moving. Or maybe it'll find a bounce here, but indicators look like they're cooling off. So app versus USDT needs a little time. STX versus USDT. I'm only going to look at short time frames here, the 45, just because that's immediate price action. Definitely, if you like something, check out the hourly and the 4-hour and the daily to make sure it's really kind of lining up. This one not looking too bad. Indicators are cooling off. A little bit hard to play here, but stacks versus USDT, this thing's probably going to do something like that. Let me nix that. Can I do like a 4-hour chart here on this one? Get an idea what's going on. Yeah, watch this guy here. This one's interesting. Do a parallel channel here, and we can kind of go bonk, bonk. Yeah. So it's definitely retracing hard. You can begin to see the candles by Sam fire up yellow candles, as you can see it doing here. I'm going to kind of watch this one, stacks, maybe for that bottom of channel bounce and then continue moving up. Indicators are looking good. Let's just watch this one because that actually would be wonderful if you actually could get a play here. So it might be a nice one if you could get it. Let's see if you could get into this one here. Let's just say that you got into, let's say it comes down bottom of the channel, makes a bounce, and you hopped in. Halfway up is, gosh, like 25%. All the way up is like 50. This one's looking good here on the 4-hour chart. So definitely stacks. Let's watch for maybe a bottom of channel bounce or a continue or a move up. It looks like it kind of has to give some back. It's kind of chilling. I mean, if you look at the ultimately this guy here is still trending down, even though it's moving up a little bit. You can kind of see where that's the squeeze indicator. You can look at the directional index trending down, and ultimately, so is your ultimately really kind of, if you look at it like this, your volume is trending down too. Doesn't mean it won't continue moving up, but this one is kind of in a good spot. I like it. I love the mix of I love these nice purple candles by Sam here firing off. That's really great. Those are always very, very bullish. This thing is just doing a great upwards channel. And it would not surprise me whatsoever if we get to a point pretty darn soon on stacks, STX versus BTC, where we kind of get some velocity, which we have before, get some velocity down with the yellow candles by Sam, then do a bounce and see purple candles by Sam and start moving up again. So really, I'm going to watch this one here rather closely for a bottom of the channel bounce, and that's kind of my play today. Things are a little bit all over the place. I'm going to watch this thing here on the 45-minute chart. Let's watch it there. How's that looking? Yeah, especially on the 45, you can really see that rollover, where most likely, yeah, we're definitely going to probably hit the bottom of this channel and make a bounce and move. And that would make sense because it's right about the 200 moving average. So it'll probably bounce before it gets to the 200 moving average, I would imagine, if it stays strong. Or if it does get down to the 200 moving average, that'd be giving quite a lot back. But definitely that might be if the indicators are turning up and things all look good. STX versus USDT. I like it. You can play it on Binance and KuCoin. Most people have one of those. Where else can you play it? Dun, 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 dun. You can play it on Coinbase. I mean, come on. You can send your grandma an AOL message and say, "Grandma, hit it, man." Also Gate.io has got it. So this one here, OKX also, MEXC. So basically everybody can play it. Bybit can play it, as their perpetual contracts. It's STMX. Is that actually XTX though? I'm not convinced that is. Anyway, guys, that's pretty darn spiffy. I like what I'm seeing. That's probably what I'm going to watch most closely. We'll see if that one actually comes in for a play today. We are like that. I like this. STX, USDT. Okay, so I think we're looking pretty good. I don't want to, that will do. That will do. I don't want to spend too much time looking at these alts. So many of them are right here in the same spot that are kind of looking good. All the top 100 are definitely worth checking out that are showing some green here. Maybe one more. I didn't look at Filecoin. Filecoin really does. When Filecoin gets running, it's nice. USDT. How's that? Binance and KuCoin. You can play it anywhere. I like that. You know what? The thing about Filecoin here, I like what I'm seeing on the 45-minute chart, but do note that you've got this beautiful upwards movement, candles by Sam firing off. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. It's challenging that 200 moving average, got above it, strong indicators. I like what I'm seeing. Maybe it's going to run right through that 314 right now. Not a bad deal. The only thing is if one was to get into it right now, you're undoubtedly going to find some resistance right here and bounce up that 314. You're probably going to do some of this action, which is always lame. Hard one to play. Let's actually look at this one more time here on the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart's above the 200. The 4-hour chart is above the 200, the 314. I like that. It's moving up. The next, real high, previous high that we might find to be resistance is way up here. How many percent is that gains before it happens? That's like 7%, 6, 7%. So definitely, this thing is definitely start running. So I like what I'm seeing here. The 4-hour chart's beautiful. I mean, the 4 hours kind of showing this beautiful squeeze indicator starting to turn positive. You can see the directional index is in the red, it is in the green there. ADX needs to turn up. Volume is pretty darn weak, keeps declining, but this is definitely a nice turn up location. So definitely, I'm going to be watching this one. 45-minute chart, looking at this thing. What I'm really waiting for, to be honest with you, where I would put my, I put an alert like right here on that 45-minute 314. If it breaks above that, that's where we're going to see the a real good play. If you know, right now it's pushed quite a bit. I'll watch it. I would watch this one. I have some intuition on this one, but intuition is not technical analysis. So definitely, I would watch this one. You know, as you can see, it's kind of been in kind of a weak ass range right here. You know, but not too bad. Like I say, watch for that 314 moving average cross above on the 45-minute chart, and there I think you're going to see some serious fireworks when it gets above there. For the hourly, we're still working on approaching that 200, so the 200 on the hourly and the 314 are pretty close. Definitely you could watch for a break above those. I like the green diamond here. All the Madrid ribbons of the super guppy indicator have turned green. I like that, so it's looking good. This is just beginning to turn up. There's a lot to like about this. Like I say, I want to kind of see it. I got to see the hourly get healthy above the 200 and the 314, and really like where I'm really watching for, like where I would actually hop in would be when we break above that 314 on the 45-minute chart. I like what I'm seeing. It's looking good. Strong indicators. So really, STX and Filecoin, FIL, can play them on KuCoin, can play them on Binance. I think here File, you can actually, one of these you can actually even play on Coinbase. So I mean, anyway, guys, with that said, thank you for being a Bitcoin truth seeker. Thank you for your optimism in the world. And like Teddy Roosevelt said, the only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything. Rules to live by. So sometimes we got to just basically remember that old Southern biblical line: God helps those that get off their ass. And I think also God helps those that just make the damn trade, you know. You know, we're all going to win some, we're all going to lose some. Hop the damn fence, make the damn trade. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold you all up for one moment here, because that reminded me of something. Let's see. Radiant creators hop the damn fence. I will leave you with this. There we go. So I'll put this in the live chat. This is Tino von Struckman, an amazing historian. I'm putting that in the live chat right now, and I'll make it a comment under each of the under this video also. Hop the damn fence, make the damn trade, do something, make Teddy Roosevelt proud. You know, and take care, and I will see you all again tomorrow. And remember, every Bitcoin Satoshi you own punches a nasty globalist right in the nuts. Take care.